Okay, you know the special counsel, Robert Mueller, he's investigating Russian interference and possible coordination with the Trump campaign. He brought indictments today against 13 Russian individuals and 3 Russian entities. Is that a company? What is that? Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein says the defendants established hundreds of accounts on Facebook and Twitter, making them appear to be controlled by people here in the U.S. Rosenstein says there are no allegations in the indictments that any Americans knowingly participated in the illegal activities. Let's go back to our panel. First of all, surprised by the indictments?
Yeah, actually. I didn't think that they would pull Russians into this. I thought they would get some Americans, but not a group of Russians.
Okay.
And I wasn't surprised at all. I think what we've seen is that there's, even for Rick Gates, a third person involved with Trump who's come forward and said, I'm going to cooperate with the government. I think more and more people are starting to see that the jig is kind of up. It's slowly coming up. And so I wasn't surprised by it at all.
Can we assume that the Russians are back in Moscow or Siberia or someplace like that?
They're
not here.
They're not getting pulled into any jail or court here.
Right. Okay. He didn't say that our investigation has concluded no Americans are involved in this. He says there are no allegations against Americans in this indictment. What do you read into that?
I think what it's kind of showing right now is like they've just started. They are going to dig deep. Some of the things that they've been able to pull out thus far is that this was a broad and sophisticated effort to corrupt the American democratic process. I don't call it meddling. Meddling is when your mother-in-law says something behind your back. This was corrupting the American democratic process, that they were also trying to influence minority voter turnout, that they were using banks to funnel money to kind of to fund this whole project. And so this is something serious, and I think they're going to keep investigating until they get to the bottom of it.
Tim, before you weigh in on this, we got a soundbite. It seems like President Trump is the only elected official who still doesn't believe that this is a legit investigation. Let's go back and listen to what he said back in the past.
Mike Flynn is a fine person, and I asked for his resignation. He respectfully gave it. And you can talk all you want about Russia, which was all a fake news fabricated deal to try and make up for the loss of the Democrat.
There you go. He's called it a witch hunt. He's called it a lot of things. Okay. Well, and I think today, what did he say? He says, well, the investigation proves there's no collusion. Okay.
We still haven't proven that there's no collusion, but there still isn't evidence of any collusion
Absolutely
yet
right.
either.
Absolutely right.
So what we're seeing is meddling. They wanted us to fight. They wanted to basically offset our democratic system so that both sides would just go crazy in the streets against each other. I think they got kind of close.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that we're going to overcome that, and luckily these indictments will start to lead to something here.
Yeah. Are we closer to the end, or do you think we got a lot more to go? Do you think they're still climbing the tree right now?
I think they're still climbing the tree, and I think we're going to be real interesting to see where this ends up. I think it ends up pointing people at both sides, not just the Trump side. I think it's going to be the Hillary side as well.
What do you think, Jennifer?
No, we're still very much in the depths of it. I think there's still a lot more to come. Just, again, looking at some of the things that they have found already with trying to determine whether or not Facebook, Twitter, some of these banks were unwitting participants. They also say that some of these Trump associates were unwitting participants in this kind of scheme that they were putting together. Right. I think we still have a lot more to go into.
And we're not talking about collusion. Collusion isn't a crime. I mean, we're looking for criminal activity here.
We're looking for the collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia directly.
Exactly. Okay, back in a minute.